Okay, so it looks like the live is up. So it's been a while since I flew a mission in live, so I figured I'd show off a little bit my new base that I made at Gaziantep here with a few of the Mason objects that now are part of the DCS program. And so I've basically positioned at that airfield some Spanish F-18s and American F-16s. And this is actually a mission I had created for the Spanish planes, so that's what I'll fly. But there's also the possibility to be flying that same mission with F-16s. So the F-18s are here, the F-16s are here. And more or less what I plan to do is to go meet up with the KC-130 here for refueling, just because I need the practice. And then I'll fly to the targets, and my targets will be the AAA position here and the munitions trucks that I won't necessarily know where they are, and then I'll have to locate them with the targeting pod, and then we'll fly back to base here at Gaziantep. So it's not a very complicated flight. I believe it's a daytime flight. There is an SA-3 here, but we shouldn't be getting too close to it, so I'm not too worried about enemy defenses for this particular mission. So let's go try and refuel, hit our targets, and come back just to see how things go. And lately I've been playing around with the radios, so instead of just using easy comms, I'm trying to use the more realistic ones. So once in a while I might have to switch channels if I want to talk to the AWACS, then if I want to talk to the KC-130, which is a Shell 3-1. That's going to be my refueler. I'm going to just write down his TACAM. It can be useful as well. So there, 5X. And that's it. So let's go try that. There we go, so we'll be taking the F-18, that's number 32, Chevy 1-1. Just going to check a few switches here on my joystick base. I think that should be alright. That's going to be our refueler actually that we see there. So in terms of my primary, it's going to be AAA position at waypoint 3. Then we'll hunt for some hidden stolen supply trucks near the wooded areas to the southeast of Hamrat at waypoint 4. So I've got 4 GBU-32s. Those are the 1,000 pound bombs that we can use for those targets. And we have waypoint 8 and 9 are on the man pads position, so maybe I'll see if I hit my targets the first time for the first 2. Maybe I can go hit those. So just before I set up the cockpit, maybe I could show you a little bit. This is like the little hangar area that I created. I've also, like, because this is like more of an airfield that's civilian, I've added like a military area here that looks like it's fortified, and it's got tents and helicopters and, you know, barrack buildings. And you can see the F-16s here that are parked. And they're from like the Tiger Squadron. You can see like on top of the fin there. And I've parked some Spanish F-18s a little further down here, which are same squadron as mine, which are also a Tiger squadron. If I can get it close enough, maybe I could show you on the tail fin, or maybe I'll just show you online. And there we go. Let's go back here. So you can see on the tail fin that there's a little tiger. So that's my tiger base. That's how I've decided to call it. And you can see that on my plane I've got the 4 bombs, the targeting pod, the fuel tank. And so let's set things up. I like to start with my HUD, which is a little too bright. You can see a security truck getting parked in front of us. Let's see if our helmet display here, that looks good. Then I like to set my position lights, formation lights. Then we have a center tank, so I'll position this here. I just need to move it down if I need to drop it. For the parking brake, we can release it. And on this side, I'm going to turn on my flare. Then I'm just going to remove the stick so we can see what we're doing here. I like to set this to bypass this page on the SA page. This one I will set the EW for the HUD, HSI for my waypoints, sequence 1. Here we'll set our data link on, do it twice. For our weapons, got the J83s, which will be in TOO mode. Fuse instant. Gonna set everything on TOO, which also starts our timer here for the weapon, so that it'll be ready when we get to targets. And that seems pretty good. Got our lights on. It looks pretty good. Sun's coming up. Forward just a little bit. Now you get to see what the plane looks like. The flaps were set to full. I'm just going to set them there. So I guess we're all ready to go. One more thing I could set on the ground is the TACAN for my tanker, so let's do that. If we go to TACAN, we want to go to 55X, which is already selected, so enter on. And here we should see it appear there. And it looks like it's coming towards us, so that should be good. So let's taxi to the runway, take off. So right now my radios are set, like my first radio for Crom 1 is set on channel 1. I'm going to set it to channel 2, which is the AWACS channel. The channel number 1, it's useful for my group, but since I'm flying alone without anybody else, I could call the AWACS and know if just do that properly by using the proper switch. There we go. AWACS and bogey dope.
Magic 1-1, Chevy 1-1, request bogey dope. Chevy 1-1, Magic 1-1, clean.
Alright, and that's how we know that we're on the right frequency for that. And for my tanker, he's on channel 9, so I'm going to switch already to channel 9 so I don't have to do it while in flight. I'm not mistaken, channel 2 here will probably bring my AWACS, so if there's anything that the AWACS needs to tell me, I'll know from there. Let's just do it just for fun.
Magic 1-1, Chevy 1-1, request bogey dope. Chevy 1-1, Magic 1-1, clean.
Okay, so it's working. Channel 2 here. And channel 9 will be for my tanker. There was a helicopter flying patrol earlier. I think that's it right there. It doesn't look like there's anyone else flying in the area. I'm the one who made the mission, I should know. Gonna go fly for Spain in this NATO mission over Syria. Airborne, gear up. Flaps coming up. I believe my refueler is flying at 19,000 feet, so I'm going to try to turn towards him and let him know that we're coming. So what I'm doing here is, if you can look here, I've got my TACAN symbol here. Odd triangle there. And that's like the KC-130 that I'm going to go refuel from. So I'm headed towards him. I climb to Angels 19. Probably gonna have the sun in our face initially. I've left my master arm to safe or unarmed so that we follow the correct procedure. Let's select this on the TACAN. I'll be able to see where the tanker is. It seems to be moving from left to right, so I'm going to try to get on an intercept course a little bit to the right. Should be able to see him soon because we're within 5 miles. Let's look up. Yeah, there he is right in front. So let's call him up. Kurt, Shell 3-1.
Shell 3-1, Chevy 1-1, request rejoin. Chevy 1-1, Shell 3-1, proceed to pre-contact at 19,000 at 230.
230 is his speed. I'm gonna get behind him and get our probe out. There we go. Up to his left wing. Starting a turn. Doing all kinds of weird maneuvers. Just want to check if my rudders are centered. There we go.
Ready, pre-contact. Return pre-contact. Ready, pre-contact. Clear contact.
There we go. My throttle has suction cups, and from the small corrections it got unstuck from my desk, so you gotta stay concentrated on what you need to do.
Contact.
Right.
You're taking fuel. Transfer complete.
And we're good.
Disconnect.
And so now we can say thank you for the fuel. Oh, I have inlet ice. As you can see here. Could turn on the anti-ice. Alright, so that part of the flight is done, so let's head for our waypoints. We're going to switch from TACAN to waypoint. Get to waypoint 1, which is 42 miles away. aircraft. I didn't even set the autopilot on and it's pretty much flying steady. Gotta love those fly-by-wire controls. Auto throttle. We can save a little bit of the fuel that we've gotten. If we look on the map here, you can see that we've just entered Syria. To fence in, turn our master arm on, turn the lights off. As you can see from the outside view, a little bit stealthier like that. Let's call the AWACS and let's see if it's still all clean.
Magic 1-1, Chevy 1-1, request bogey dope.
Got clean skies. Enjoying the scenery. Like we have a search radar somewhere in front. Behind us there's a P for the Patriot, that's in Syria, and the Hawk I believe is at our base at Gaziantep. The E3 is the AWACS. Those three that we see here. Alright, we're passing waypoint 1, we'll switch to waypoint 2, which is our IP. So right now for saving fuel we're flying above the clouds, but once I get close to the IP I'll get below them so that I can start using my targeting pod. Today gonna be a bit brighter. No missile launches or anything coming at us. I see a dam over there. Distance to 3.3, 45 miles. And I'll start my descent. Yes, I know I got off autopilot, thank you. At where the clouds are, I think I might be safer if I stay higher, because there are some man pads in the target area. Let's see how let's set that up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I think I'll look at them first. So we're 32 miles. So we'll switch air to ground. Back on our HSI. Here we'll turn on our flirt. And we're going to waypoint designate. Make flirt our sensor of interest here with this. Looks like some sort of a tent. Okay, yeah, that looks like it's the man pad's position, so I think I could drop a bomb there. So we'll climb and gather some speed. Fuel is good, but empty on our center line, so we're going to drop the tank. And you can see that we're a little lighter now, with the tank falling to the ground. So this man pad's position, about 20 seconds out before we can drop our bomb on it. Just gonna have a quick look at waypoint 9. That too is pretty close. Okay, so waypoint designate 8. We are now in zone, so bombs away. 9, waypoint designate. And bombs away. So we should have 2 bombs off. We'll stay high and we will check the results on at least that target there. Another thing we can do for fun is to actually watch the bomb itself. as it glides.
Magic 1-1, passing waypoint 3, 27,000.
I don't know which one of the two will get there first. This one looks like it's headed for its target. I think the other one was closer to the forest there. Once in a while I come back to the cockpit. Yeah, I'm still flying. I'm good. Let's see. Oh, so you see that there are some trucks moving on the ground. This is destroyed. Okay, so we got the man pads. And so I'm gonna come back to my waypoint 3, which for now we won't see, but I'm gonna turn. We're going to try to hit that AAA and then see what we can do about the trucks. I think it's near that town there, or is it another one? So let's see here. Oh, I had waypoint designated waypoint 2 instead of 3, so that might explain why I was looking in the wrong sector. But yeah, that section of area where there are trees, I'm gonna have to go below the clouds here, but that's for the AAA. The AAA is a little bit less dangerous to my plane than those man pads were. So hopefully they won't have other man pads. So that's my target area, and on the targeting pod we can see that there is a AAA gun right there, so we'll designate that as our target and we're going to come in to attack. We're now in zone. Bombs away. Switch to the next waypoint. Waypoint designate that area. And now we want to look for our trucks. Let's bring that a bit wider, zoom out. I think the trucks might be close to the edge of the woods. There they are. Let's zoom in on that. See lots of trucks there, so we'll lock the center area there and we'll come back for another pass because now we're just flying over it. Just right on the edge of the woods there. Try to make a fairly wide turn and then come back on the other side of the woods. Less of a chance for my bomb to just hit trees and not the target. Looks like that's gonna be good.
Magic 1-1, passing waypoint 4,
Yeah, looks like we're clear of the trees, so we're gonna head straight in. And we're in zone. Bombs away. And like we did before, we're gonna watch our bomb separate from our plane. Head towards its target. Ooh. Did that just pause or did it crash? I hit the left control F11 and everything paused. Let's press the pause key. If I hit that, I'm still broadcasting. Yes. Oh, that's not good when the little blue circle starts to appear. Means DCS is having issues. That's a bummer. Oh, yeah, DCS crash. Yeah. Oh, man. Flight was going so well. Wanted to show a nice explosion. So it would appear. We're gonna have to send our crash report and restart the sim. The joys of making lives. If it crashes, well, it crashes for everybody. So what do we do about that? I have an idea. So I'm going to open the mission again. And just for the sake of variety, I'm going to fly it again. But this time, I guess I'll fly it with an F-16. What I'll do is I'll just go get that target that I was supposed to hit. We'll just pretend that there was a malfunction on the bomb of the F-18. And so I'll just take an F-16. I forget what his armament is, but it should be fairly similar. Let's hit fly. So yeah, he's got 2 GBU 38s. He has his targeting pod. We'll just set up the F-16 as we watch the helicopter fly by here. And so do I have yeah, I do have ECM for this. So I'm going to turn these things on. I am going to turn on my helmet display like this. Then we're gonna power up this thing here. We're gonna set that to manual on program 1. And then here we're going to set up our air-to-ground weapons to be powered. Takes a little while to warm that up. We're gonna turn on our targeting pod. And for the lights, kind of like to put them on steady, even though I think the Air Force, when they taxi, they actually leave them flashing. It's just sometimes I forget to turn them off. Or to switch that particular flash switch. So I'm gonna try to go quickly. I might do like a fast forward for the flight to the target because we've already done it. We'll just do it with a different plane so that it makes the live interesting. And then we'll see if we can fly back to base. It's interesting when we taxi and we see the fortifications there and those little shelters they've put in there. There's a nice Chinook there. On the taxiway there in front also I've put some trucks with boxes and things, so if I ever want to like come back, rearm, it's a nice little spot that makes it look like there's people waiting for you where they can give you fuel and weapons. See? A whole bunch of people with things there. And again, there's some Tigers. I think I'll cut my taxiing short and go straight in on the runway here. We'll do like a rolling takeoff. I'll just set my COM1 to channel 2. Then we'll test to see if the AWACS will hear me.
Magic 1-1, Chevy 1-1, request bogey dope. Chevy 1-1, Magic 1-1, clean.
Okay, we have a clean picture, so let's roll. So we're cutting corners a little bit here. I understand that it's not proper procedures, but we just want to get airborne to get our last target. So airborne, gear up. Look at her go. And maybe if things go well, just for fun, when I come back I could go try and refuel with the F-16. It's never wasted. It's not the easiest thing to do, to refuel with those planes, so when you practice, you get better at it. I just hope that when my bomb drops on the target, it's not going to give me an error. I know, like, in the last few patches, that's happened a few times. It's like the texture loads for certain vehicles, whatever, when you bomb them, gives you an error message. waste a little bit of fuel here just to get to altitude. And then what I'll do is I'll speed up the simulation a bit. Give it a little bit of burner. This one. That's the one we want. And we're going to fence in, turn the lights off. Just going to test my ECM. So here we're increase our brightness a bit. I'm gonna switch to waypoint 2. 50 miles. We're gonna make those 50 miles go by real quick. Let's put ourselves on the waypoint and go wee. Switch directly to waypoint 4. That's point 4 here. Switch to air to ground. Bombs are powered up. Did power this on, yes. So we're going to go to air to ground. I'm going to make it soy. Just a good distance away. White hot. Narrow. So we're gonna autopilot off. Clouds. I want to get away from the man pads. Earlier we shot them with the other plane, but the game doesn't know because it crashed. I'm gonna set this on attitude hold. Dive towards the target. To the right, towards the woods. There's a road there. Yeah, okay, we see the heat from our targets there. There we go. Bombs away. Bombs away. And let's see what that does. I'm not gonna hit the control F11 this time. We'll just watch it blow. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Kaboom! Okay, so that worked. Oh yeah, nice secondaries too. Cool. You can see there's a good fire going on there, so that means targets have been hit. Back to nav mode. We're going to switch to the waypoint. It's going to bring it back to base. But I'm probably going to start looking for my tanker. So let's put that on altitude hold. Here my bomb load should be even. Good. So we're going to do the same thing we did earlier. We're going to speed time up a bit. Try to remove the boring parts. Just check my fuel state. We're pretty good on fuel. We are powered up quite a bit though. To fly at this altitude we don't need to be so high on the throttle, and let's give it another go. Oh, there are pop-up bandits south of Gaziantep. Where are those pop-up bandits? Let's increase the range. Do we have anything on radar? Might still be pretty far. Where are they? Oh, there's a MiG there. Oh, he's no fun. That's, oops, wrong key again. Let's ask the AWACS where that might be.
Magic 1-1, Chevy 1-1, request bogey dope.
So he's not helping, but we can see that there's a 29 or RWR here, so I'm just going to head towards him. So we'll switch air to air. I'm just going to put those on my helmet. This is going to be slave there. We still need to increase increase brightness every time. Okay, so MiG-29, you're here. I guess that's you there on the radar. I got you. So it's 29 miles. Let's remove the autopilots. Let's go perform a nice intercept on that guy. Make a hard lock. It's been a while since I tried a long-range intercept in the F-16, so I'm going to try firing at 19 miles, and I'll have a second missile if I need to. So, Fox 3, long range. I usually only fire them at about 11 miles. Burner. Just trying to evade. Now we're 10 miles, so I'll fire the second missile. Fox 3. Hopefully we're going to hit, because otherwise I'll have to jettison all my load and engage in a dogfight with the MiG-29. Okay, that's a hit. He's going down. He is down in flames. Good. From this mode, I'm trying to see here. I think the other refueler is at Angels 24. I set my attitude hold. I'm gonna go check my F-10 map. So Texaco is the KC-135. He's on 270. So if I go to COM2 27000, enter. Does that work? Or another 0, enter. Yeah, I probably can't get that frequency on COM2. It doesn't go that far, so 27000. That's gonna work on the first one, probably. Or will it? I call the tanker. Texaco.
Texaco 2-1. Chevy 1-1. Request rejoin.
Pretty far from him, but he does respond, so that's always a good sign. And over there, I think that's the other one. So he must be like, yeah, he's there at 40-50 miles. He's turning around. intercept him somewhere in the middle. Quite hard to see the numbers on my HUD because of the light conditions. So let's try that heading, and again, we're gonna have fun playing with time. Make things go a bit faster. Again, I'm gonna turn left slightly just to help my intercepts. And soon, yeah, I was gonna say soon we're gonna see him fly right in front of us, and there he is. F-16, I like to prepare my little refueling thing open like that.
Abort rejoin.
Oops. Wanted to check my outside view, but I aborted the rejoin, which is okay because I wanted to call him anyways to know how fast he's going. Texaco.
Texaco 2-1, Chevy 1-1, request rejoin. Chevy 1-1, Texaco 2-1, proceed to pre-contact at 24,000 at 270.
Thank you, sir. I made it look a little bit easy in the F-18 earlier, but I find it much more difficult to do the F-16. Question of checking the belly lights, but it's not as easy as it looks. Oh, and now he's gonna turn. Put master arm off. Technically I should turn the radar off, but I'm too busy. See if he's happy today.
Ready, pre-contact. Cleared contact.
Good. sir.
Contact. You're taking fuel.
Disconnected.
Contact. You're taking fuel. Contact. You're taking fuel.
The sun in my face. Ah. How much fuel do we have? 7.6. I think it'll make us plenty to go to base, but I would like to hear like the transfer complete with my fuel tanks, though it might take forever, so I'll just wait till the sun is out and we'll give it another splash. It really has been a while since I practiced this.
Contact. You're taking fuel.
Too low. Because we're turning, it's so many different little corrections that we need to do with the throttle, the direction. Come on, we're stable now.
Contact. You're taking fuel.
Oh. Now he changes direction again. Okay, well, we'll let him do that. And we've got 8,500. I think that'll be enough for me. Thank you.
Support rejoin.
Now we're gonna burn some of that good fuel. And go say hello. Thanks for the fuel.
Cat flare.
Alright, let's head for our final waypoint. Then we're gonna go land this baby. That much fuel, we're actually going to be a bit heavy. One of the things I realize now, I turned it off, but I think my switch for autopilot might have stayed on. Maybe that's why I was fighting the stick. I think though that when you turn the air refuel door open, it automatically turns off the autopilot. So let's give it a super blast of high speed power. We're burning some of that fuel, which is good. And we'll switch to a final waypoint after that. Airfield, yeah, it's right there, okay. Switching. Last waypoint to land, air brakes out. Gonna bleed some speed. Speed is good. Bring the gear down.
Altitude. Altitude.
Raise the seat a little bit. It helps during landing. Try to make it a good landing. Comes down. And we brake. Air brakes in. Nose wheel steering on. Let's go park it in one of those nice little shelters I put in. So you may have noticed that earlier we were in F-18s, like from Spain, the EF-18s. There's a Spanish C-130 there with a few parked F-18s. Here I've put a Canadian Hercules, some American F-16s just like ours. So it's really a NATO base at this point. Different countries from the coalition. These revetments, it's kind of cool. They've got numbers on them. So since I had started in number 1, I'm going to go back to number 1. You can see this one is 4, 3, 2, and that one is the 1. We'll go shelter the plane under that. Let's cheat a little bit so we can see that we're really underneath, and right about here I guess is a good place to park it. That way there's room in front for a tractor if we need to get pushed out. So at this point we can put on the parking brake. And we can talk to the ground crew.
Chocks.
Copy. Wheel chocks are now in place.
And we're going to use our lazy shutdown. Something here just for fun. You can see the tiger right there as the canopy opens. And since we're doing this, let's go have fun with the F-18s that were parked here. They also have little tigers. This is a tiger base, my friends. There you go. One more. You can see that these F-16s have that as well. Another Tiger. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that little flight. It was kind of fun to do.